Excuse me.
Over the last 2 decades, thanks to both cinema and Andrew Davis's sexy TV version of Regency gentility, Jane Austen has leapt from classic author into the realm of cult status. Back in Texas, that same Andrew Davis is the star turn at the Jane Austen Society convention.
I have a very quick question. Could you tell me why, when Elizabeth accepts Darcy, that I don't see any real emotion on his part, that he's really happy about it?
Very good question. And thank you very much for pointing out the only bad thing about the...
Outside the hall, I asked Andrew why he'd wanted to adapt Pride and Prejudice in the first place.
I thought that all the previous adaptations had completely missed the fact that it's about sex and money, and that the engine of the plot is Darcy's desire for Elizabeth. And I wanted to emphasise the physicality and the thing. It's about young people with hormones. So lots and lots of galloping horses, lots and lots of opportunity for the audience to see the actors with as many of their clothes off as seem compatible with distance.
So you really developed, I think, the character of Darcy, didn't you? I mean, for me, it seems as if you kind of made him almost more like Mr. Rochester. There's a bit of Bronte in your Austen.
I don't think I was changing his character in the least from what Jane Austen did. What I was doing was trying to give the audience a chance to see the story from his point of view as well as hers.
But you did something similar, I think, in Sense and Sensibility.
Absolutely. I think Jane Austen missed a trick or two in Sense and Sensibility. Because
better not say that here.
I am going to say it here. Because the guys that get the girls in Sense and Sensibility, on the face of it, are not worthy of them. And so I thought they really needed butching up. And so that's what I did.
You added testosterone to it?
Yes.
What impact do you think the adaptations have on the readership of the books themselves?
Well, I think there's been a change in a lot of ways, because a lot of kids, a lot of students come to the books through the adaptations. Well, it's a good way to get school kids in particular to read the books.
So what's happening to the Austen brand now? Do you think her popularity has peaked for a while?
I think it might have peaked over here, in the West at any rate. I'm not sure whether we've heard enough from the Chinese, from the Far East, in fact. I don't know whether, because there's a huge enthusiasm for Jane Austen in Japan and increasingly in China as well.
So we've had Southern California, Bollywood, and next up China.
Well, that's my bet.
So what is it in Austen's prose that has allowed her to be both so freely adapted and so widely read? I think there is a clue to her magic in the Hampshire village where she was born.
One of the most surprising things about Jane Austen is just how very little we know about her. This is the site of the vicarage where she was born and spent a large part of her life. It's all nettles and cowpats today. So you have to use your imagination to fill in the blanks, which is just what Jane Austen trusted her readers to be able to do.
Open any of Austen's novels and you won't get bogged down in descriptive details. For example, all we are ever really told about Willoughby or Darcy's looks is that they are uncommonly handsome. Austen leaves room for the reader's intelligence and fantasies, which has the uncanny effect of allowing each new generation to see themselves reflected back from her pages. I think it's her spare, restrained style of writing that has also allowed Austen to be so widely reinvented and ultimately popularised. I bet Austen's satirical pen would have got to work on this eccentric convention thrown in her honour. But for the 600 delegates having fun, living the Jane Austen life for a weekend, this is all an attempt to unlock the fiction they love so much. Cheryl Kinney is a doctor from Dallas and chair of this year's event.
What I've been struck by is just the incredible intellectual firepower we've got here. I mean, you're a gynaecologist, there's, judges, teachers, journalists, but ordinary readers and fans all mixing together.
And that's the wonderful thing about Jane Austen, that you can enjoy her on so many levels. You can just enjoy the films, you can know the books verbatim, and we embrace everyone. And that's what's so much fun.
You're working hard to dispel any kind of old-fashioned chintzy view of Jane Austen.
Well, absolutely, and this year we worked very hard on that. One of our sponsors provided us with black lace panties.
Oh, my word!
Yes, and in each bag was a note from John Willoughby that said to call him.
Call me, XOXO, Willoughby.
Yes.
What does he say?
Well, when you call him on the phone, it says, "Hi, this is John Willoughby, and I'm not available this weekend. Come to New York in 2012 for Sex, Power, and Money," which is the next conference.
But also you have all this other stuff, Team Willoughby.
Yes.
I'm amazed that a gynecologist would support Willoughby.
Yes, well, as I said, unless I'm trying to make money from sexually transmitted diseases. So, you won't put that on, will you? Oh, that just slipped out.
This gathering of readers displays a defining aspect of Austen's long-lasting power. Plenty of men love Austen, but from the outset, these books, by a woman, about women, always created a sense of female community, from the ladies of Althorpe onwards. And amongst this extremely diverse group, I think the main attraction is still that strong sense of sisterhood.
I'm really moved by the warmth of the community of fans, scholars and readers, all united by their love for Jane Austen. But perhaps that's actually what's unique about Austen as a writer. She seems to have pulled off what seems an impossible combination of academic prestige and popular devotion. To Jane! To Jane! Very good. Oh.
Until we